Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzel in the Happy New Year of 2019. Yay, we made it! In Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio in the backyard. And I got a couple things I want to show you. I'm liking these square, round bottom, silicone pinch cups by Zaza Kitchen that I'm going to try and put on my Amazon link as soon as I can. But for the moment, I'm going to put those aside for a second. And I'm going to show you, oh, I didn't bring out the mica powder. Anyway, I have some gold mica powder that I've been mixing, and it's been sitting for 3 or 4 days now. And I'm really interested to see, since the Floetrol and the GAC 800 have risen to the surface, how hard it is to bring it back again. And I don't think it's going to be that hard, because it's looking pretty good. So now we know the answer to that question. Probably if I stuck a marble in this little container and shook it around a little bit, it'd be even faster. So I'll just put that aside for right now. I'm probably going to use some of that in a minute. Putting the stuff on my finger. These are, people keep asking me about my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas. So the flat front one is number 1. The pointed one is number 3. The little rectangle is number 2. The diagonal is number 4. The round tip is number 5. And this thing I haven't used much of, but will find a way to use at some point in time, is number 6. And it does get used a little bit. So I'm going to put those aside too. And I've got a list of things to tell you about, guys, but that's my OXO omelet turning spatula, and I'm going to use that in a minute. These are my crib notes of things I thought about over the last few days while I was trying to edit and catch up. And that's my iPod case, which I never want to lose again as long as I live because I love it. It's the right size to put lots of little paint colors in. And I'm going to use a 16 by 20 inch canvas. There's my crib notes. Okay, so I have over 400 videos, and if you like what you see, watch another one. Thank you for 42,000 subscribers. I have a book on Amazon. It's the first thing on the list, on my Amazon list below the video. There's cool clothes on Teespring. All of my designs are on there. Please give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. The recipe for the paint pouring is in the description under the video. And there's a fabulous album of wet and dry artworks on Facebook that say volumes 1, 2, and 3. And they're the YouTube artworks. There's a contest continuously going for anybody who decides to help support the studio through PayPal or Patreon. And PayPal and Patreon are links that are both under the video and on my YouTube header. And my art is for sale. And anything that you ever see me do can become a print on Fine Art America or Pixels.com. And I don't have those links listed because they're not allowed yet. But I'm going to take my white paint. Thank you for bearing with me for a minute. And I'm going to put my glasses on my face. And I am going to put a nice even bunch of paint on my canvas. It's warm out here today. I'm having to wear something to keep myself cool. I'd like to just leave that for a minute, but I'm really nervous as to... You know what? That's kind of sandy. I'm glad I thought to wipe that off. So this is the amazing omelet turning spatula. It's my amazing paint spreading spatula. And it usually does a fantastic job. I recommend it for anybody who wants to do this and facilitate time. Not waste time, because fluid art does dry. It sets, especially if it's in a warm environment. Not that most of you are probably worried about that this time of year in early January, but summer's coming and you never know. You might be outside again, hopefully, someday. And I might need a little more paint, because glasses show me that I missed some spots. I don't worry about my edges to begin with, because if I'm going to pour or tip anything, and I think I'm going to do both of those things, then it's nice to have it to the edge, but not over the edge, because that gives me something to hold on to. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And you've put up with me talking to you long enough. That's going in the bucket. I dispose of my water in sand so that it stops before it reaches the water table. What I want to do, I think I'm going to use a medium size. What I really want to do is use the dustpan and spread paint all over, but what I really need to do is experiment with these round bottom flat-sided cups. And I have a bunch of colors. I've shaken everything, and I'm not really trying hard to put things in here like a ring pour, but I am interested in using up some colors that I've got. And if you notice, I'm using white in between every layer, and that seems to help. That really seems to facilitate things, cells popping and other things showing up. And I'm trying to pick the color I want next. Actually, it should be white. And nope, not that. And okay. I did shake all my bottles. All my bottles have pre-mixed paint in them with pouring medium, which is often Floetrol, as when I can afford it, Deco Art pouring medium. And GAC 800 goes in first before anything else. And that keeps my paint from cracking when it's thick. And I recommend it to everybody who's going to practice my methods of painting, because that means that if you decide that you have a pattern that you really like, you don't have to tip it just to make it, just to get it manipulated to something like everybody else is doing. You can keep it. It's really important that you have a level surface to dry your stuff on. Oop, time for a new top on that one. I'm not paying as much attention to what I'm doing here as I would like to, because I'm talking too much. Go figure. That pink disappears so often. I'm going to try and figure out another way to make that viable soon. I don't know what it's going to be. I can't add too much white because the white swallows it whole. I didn't put any black in there. I don't have much orange in there, and I wish I'd quit putting the tops back on things. And I'm almost done. Almost. Being key. Let's do some more white. Let's find the black. Actually, I think I'm going to settle for Prussian blue because I don't see the black. And the Prussian blue has Deco Art pouring medium mixed with the Floetrol, about half and half, and I really like the way that looks. I also didn't put any purple in there. I'm just going for a rainbow effect for sure. Hopefully it won't suck, because I'm not paying enough attention, but I'd like to pay some more attention right now. What am I missing? I'm missing green, and I like this green gold. I love this green gold, actually. This is a color shift from Folk Art. And what I'd like to do, actually, is find that black. I found it. Good. Let's do something raucous. Maybe, maybe not. I think I have a tack around here somewhere. At least I did a minute ago. There we go. Alright, that's just... That reminds me, I've seen some fork stuff, some pulled paint recently that's just so awesome. It just makes me want to do it. I'm going to try and get some of my bottles out of the way, and some of the other things out of the way. So if I decide to go tipping... Oh, I didn't put any gold in there. Well, you know what? It's never too late. This is definitely going to be more accidental than most things that I do, but after it gets on the canvas, all bets are off, and I'll have my way with it and manipulate it as I see fit, even to the point of adding some more gold. So, I'm imagining that this is ready. Whoops, I got some gold down there. And I'm going to tip it at a funny angle. And give myself permission to find my, yes, my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas and excavate whatever's left in that cup. Pretty cup, pretty colors. Now I've got squeeze bottles and a license to use them, so that's probably mostly what's going to happen if I'm not super thrilled with what goes on here to begin with, is I will take my accidental start and manipulate it into something that's on purpose. And that's going in the bucket. And I'm going to rinse off my little spatula for a second because I know I'll probably want to use that. Okay, so I want to do things I don't always do. And I guess somebody will go, well, you always do that. But you know what? I don't always use my tubing. I don't always torch first. It's nice to see what kind of cells pop. I don't use any silicone in my mixes because the Deco Art pouring medium and the Floetrol seem to work quite nicely to create cells. I don't want to overly torch because that means that I will get the surface of the paint set up. I kind of want to, you know what? I've wanted to do this for a while and I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my black. Am I really? Oh boy. I'm going to force some of that right into there. Some in there. Maybe a little less in there. Some in there. It's not really working exactly like I was expecting, but that's okay. I'm just going to force some over there. I have a beautiful magenta here that I don't use often enough. There's the one I want. Okay, so now I know I got enough color now. And I'm going to mix some of those around. And I think some tipping is in order, but I'm really curious just to see what will happen if I start maybe the round one. If I start by just swiping. Because I seldom just go for, oh, I just avoided having a lizard in my painting. Okay then. Well, that's kind of different, and I like different. Different is good. I like this over here. And I'm just going to keep adding colors where I think I'd like them. I haven't tipped yet. Oh gosh. Well, that did not show up. Okay. So now we learned something. Can't put yellow on top of black and expect it to show up. Alright, I gotta do a little tip. I'm going to just put that spatula aside for a second. And I have edge catchers, and I think I need to get one ready. Right here, I have a pile of them. That's kind of a short one, but that's okay. It could use a little help. So I'm just going to put that down in this corner as I tip down this way. I'm loving the pattern of cells. They're really fun. And accidental art is a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. I like the idea that I can mix accidental and non-accidental or on-purpose art. I didn't really want to lose all that white in that bottom corner. And I do want to throw that paint, I want to tip it back over on the edge so it covers, and throw it right back up at the top. I'm not sure what else I want to do, but I'm sure I want to do it over here. Well, I say that. I know you guys think I have a lot of confidence, but I'm just brazen, basically. That's the bottom line. Alright, I haven't done enough with that gold by any stretch of the imagination. And I am giving myself permission to just get frisky with what I've got right here. I've got some paint to use up over here that I love. I'm going to scrape my spatula off on the edge of my canvas too, and use my finger and let what's right there fall down over in those places where it's convenient. Right now, you may or may not be able to see that. So I've got some beautiful blue and not a lot of it left. I've also got some chain. I am sort of these days rethinking accidental art a little bit, like in what's the next stage to having figured out what to do with what I like to do, and what kind of accidents have I not encouraged that I could then manipulate. I do like swiping with my spatula. I think I want some more Prussian blue up there. I don't necessarily always go to the edge, because I know that the paint will carry through. It's different. Alright, so I said I would do some gold, and I'm so not done. I got 2 minutes left, which is not really a whole lot. I'm going to use my other flat front spatula and just use it as a drizzling tool. And if that timer goes off, I'll talk to you for a second, and then I'll come back again and see what else we're going to do with this. I'm not sure about any of that. But I'd like to see what happens with this this mica gold that I'm making when I mix it with other colors, because I haven't been using it long enough to really be able to tell. I'm a little nervous. I spilled something recently, and I definitely don't want to do that again. So that's kind of okay, but I want some orange in there. That's just the way it goes. It does make some tremendous cells that I'm totally in love with. And splooges are okay. if I drop something by accident. Okay, so I see that I like a whole lot of that black down here, and I want more of it. But I want to make sure I have some gold and find out what happens when I do both of those things. And I definitely have some paint to tip, but I love that selling action that I just got. I'm not sure about any of that up there, so I need to make it go away because I don't have long enough to mess about. And I think I'm going to just take it and tip it, in spite of the fact that I have beautiful, beautiful things up here. Let's see if I can spread some down that way and then come back again. I really want my edge catcher to be right now. It's dripping. Okay, well, that'll do for the moment. Kind of a balancing act. I'm liking how all that's moving down toward this corner. And once it's off the canvas, then I can really dump it back on if I so desire. And I'm thinking I might. So I'm going to let that level out. Use my finger to make whatever's on there continue on down onto the edge catcher. Throw my canvas down. That's different. I've got stuff in my way. And I'm making gray. And I actually, you know, because I don't mix gray, I don't mind it when whoa, I'm dribbling. Which is not a bad idea, actually. Let's dribble. Because I can. I kind of like that. And I'm going to do it some more. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. So I told you most everything I needed to tell you at the beginning of the video, which is so awesome, which means I don't have to tell you any of it now. Yay! I can just keep working for another couple minutes, and I can say thank you very much to all the contributions that have kept me painting all this time. I really, really appreciate it. And don't forget that if you decide to become one, you will be entered in a contest. I think it's time to give this one more torching. We torch to release the bubbles. I had a feeling that those ribbons, those beautiful gray ribbons with the orange and the pink and the blue in them, would probably all sell right up. So like I said, I torch to release the bubbles and also to release patterns, but mostly the bubbles. Because when I shake my paint, I get air bubbles. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to this other than touch up my edges. It's more accidental art for sure than a lot of my stuff is right now, but I have some paint hanging around to use on my edges where I need it, and have paint will smudge. Alright, I love you guys. This is Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, saying Happy New Year again, and I hope to see you guys all in the next video. If you have questions, please ask, and I'm loving the comments. Thank you so much. And for anybody who needs to know why I reach across the canvas or don't turn it, it's because I'm focused and working in the moment. And you're just going to have to live with it. Or watch someone else, Dakota. Just had to say. Alright, so I love the rest of you. I probably love you too, Dakota, but not so much today. I'm going to see what you can see, and if I need to turn it around, that's pretty cool. Actually, I really like this over here, this idea over here. Yeah. Cool. Happier with that. I could do that up there too. Maybe I should. Maybe I should not. Let's see. It reminds me of something else I did recently, but that's okay. Alright, you guys. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Say that was fun. I needed to play. I'm glad you joined me, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye for now. Priscilla out.